Join me right now. We have Democratic strategist and founder and CEO of Blueprint Strategies, Antoine Seawright, and Brendan Buck, MSNBC political analyst and former press secretary to VP candidate Paul Ryan. Gentlemen, thank you for both being here. I'm glad to have you in studio, Brendan. That's a real treat. Okay, let's look at the State Board of Elections in North Carolina. It reports a 450,000 increase in unaffiliated voters since 2020. Trump barely won the state back then. Clearly, both candidates have been claiming, have been focusing heavily on it now. Are Democrats doing what they need to win over this special group of voters?
Well, what we know is it's got Donald Trump's attention. The fact that he is campaigning there so late in the game tells you that at least that campaign is seeing something that they're worried about. Instead of sort of being on the offense in places like the Midwest, they feel like they need to play defense in North Carolina. The thing that we have to keep an eye on, of course, is turnout. And I know that's a kind of a joke, but Donald Trump has sort of flipped the script on what we typically think of. Usually we think of high turnout elections benefit Democrats, and now that is reversed. We think that high turnout elections are going to benefit Donald Trump. And so if you're seeing large lines there, that's great. I'm glad everybody's voting. But ultimately, if you've got a bunch of unaffiliated voters, you've got a lot of people showing a lot of energy, there is a theory that is probably to Donald Trump's favor.
Let me ask you then the same question, Antoine. Kamala Harris, is she doing what she needs to do to get into this particular group of voters? There's a lot who've developed since 2020 there.
Look, I think she's doing not just the thing, she's doing the right thing. She's meeting voters where they are, regardless of where they may think they fall before they cast their vote. She certainly has a message to bring this country together. She's meeting independent thinkers and independent voters. And then these latecomers or political latecomers, those who tune in late or vote later, she has a closing argument or a closing message for them. And I think that makes a difference. The other thing that makes a difference in campaigns is infrastructure, candidate quality, as well as strategy. One strategy includes bringing Americans together with a bread and butter barbershop and beauty salon message. The other strategy seems to be Project 2025. It seems to be fear, anger, racism, bigotry, hate, and they're also using voter suppression as a strategy on the side. And you cannot underestimate the power in the voting bloc of women in an election like this, where they know they are casting a very survival vote because their decisions about making their own reproductive justice around healthcare are on the ballot all around this country.
Let me ask you, Brendan, about Donald Trump, who's facing some significant backlash for his recent comments about Liz Cheney. He has really amped up some pretty vile, attacking, unsavory rhetoric. And then you have him also attacking Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Let's take a listen to some of this.
When Biden got up with the red background, the pink background, and he looked like the devil, he looked so stupid. I said, listen, you stupid bastard. When that sleazebag said during the debate, she said, oh, your rallies aren't well attended. Hillary was a liar, a horrible scoundrel, but this one lies so much. And she's a low IQ individual. She's dumb as a rock, and you can't have that.
I mean, how does anyone who says this expect to win the presidency?
He's obviously making an argument against her, but this isn't about persuasion. I don't think he's trying to persuade anybody not to vote for Kamala Harris. All he's trying to do is give his people something to get them excited. And that's...
Hang on. Is he trying to give people reason not to vote for him, though? Aren't there enough people out there, even you? I looked at your face. You were looking at me. We're both looking at each other like, really? Come on.
Well, of course, and I think that's why he is losing, for example, by an enormous degree with women voters. I mean, there are a lot of people who are turned off by him and who have left the Republican parties because he is like that. The reality is he sits in a bubble, though, where all he does is get positive feedback for this. And I'll be honest, he's been saying stuff like this for weeks and months, and he hasn't really paid a price. The polling has moved only in his direction, and he sees this, and there's no real consequence for saying things like this. People who you would think would run away either have already left the party or are simply just going to overlook it. And so, no, now it's about motivating, exciting, as much as he can get people on his side thinking this is funny and cheering him on. That's a turnout motivation play right there. And, I don't think he has any reason to think it's not going to work for him.
How about your take on all this, Antoine?
Well, Alex, I think it's easier to be angry than it is informed. And the former president is trying to tap into the anger Americans in this country who have no connective tissue to any party. They just feel like government has not worked for them. But as millions of Americans continue to express themselves, whether it's their hope, fears, aspirations, their frustrations, their concerns, or even their trust at the ballot box to this point in the process, I think Republicans are going to be surprised by those who just simply want a candidate to work in their best interest. And I think that's where Donald Trump and Republicans underestimate the value that Kamala Harris brings to the table and the strategy that Democrats have in terms of their high-tech and high-touch campaign strategy. This weekend will be the largest weekend in terms of voter contact, whether it's virtual or on doors, for Democrats. Ground game is going to make a difference, as well as the resources. Kamala Harris has went from MVP, Madam Vice President, to most valuable player for Democrats, and that's why you see the enthusiasm bubbling up and the energy concentrated at the polls with key constituency groups. Women, Black voters are coming home, as well as young voters who are going to make up a large say-so in this election.
Last question to you, speaking of ground game. Trump has outsourced a lot of his ground game to the super PAC with Elon Musk. We're hearing reports of problems. Is there a sense that Elon Musk may not work for him in this regard, helping to get votes in this campaign? Super
risky play. And I'll say the ground game, this groundwork, gets screwed up even by normal parties when they do it. This is hard work. It's you've got to grind it out and get out and knock on doors, and you got to bring data to real people and bring it all together. And handing it over to somebody who's never done anything like this is an incredibly risky operation. I think they just don't have the resources. Donald Trump is obviously, I don't know,
cash poor.
Use some of the money they've raised for other things, like his legal defense. And so they're taking any help that they can get. Donald Trump is very good at motivating voters. And that's ultimately what turnout operations are all about. And so maybe it's not as important to him, but I will say it does reflect a complete breakdown in our election laws. The fact that billionaires can now come in and just sort of do all of this stuff on their own, it is not how the system is supposed to work. And ultimately, whether or not Donald Trump can turn out a bunch of young men who don't typically come out and participate in voters may be the deciding factor in who the next president is.
Yeah, TBD on that, that's for sure.